Hey guys, this is Justin from the RC and Coffee YouTube channel. How are you guys doing? Tonight, very short video. We have one more car in the shop. We've got Emma's car. So Emma is the one of the lucky winners from Jerry's Old Guys review contest that took place earlier in December, and she was thrilled when she won this little Teton. Um, Unfortunately, we've had our first break, which for us in the RC world is almost something worth celebrating. So I'm this is actually my first time looking at this, and I just wanted to show something. So first of all, Jerry, just wanted to let you know that Emma has noticed the the little attention to details that if you've shown. It's absolutely adorable. Look at this. Wow. I am really impressed by the quality of this little vehicle. The the plastics are very good. I mean, it's Traxxas. They flex, right? So you want something that's able to take a hit, and this really can. Whatever needs to flexes. The dog bones and everything else are very sturdy, and the suspensions do a really good job. I don't know if they're oil filled or not, but it's very plush, and the chassis feels super rigid. So take a look at this. Very impressed. That's a nice little rig. So I'm going to put this back together, and Emma will be able to enjoy it once more. And this time we'll find another area to play so that we don't end up having as many breakage as Uncle, essentially. So here we go. The other patient that we have today is, of course, the HG P408. And if you recall last time, I was looking at replacing the servo, and I've had the hardest time to put this tiny bracket here, which is necessary to be able to, it basically acts as an adapter for this very strange looking servo horn. Basically, the servo horn sandwiches the panhard, which is here. It's hard to see. Maybe if I use a screwdriver or something, it'll be a bit easier. Just bear with me. This guy there. Underneath the servo bracket. And so I've been looking everywhere to try to find this little bracket, black bracket here. It's made out of metal, by the way. What's very strange about it is that usually when you have a metal servo horn or anything that goes on top of the gearing on a servo, you have a way to create pressure. Well, number one, to be able to release pressure, to be able to take off the servo horn, but also to apply pressure with those two screws on this metal servo horn here. So I'm very, I wouldn't say surprised, that's HG after all, but disappointed would probably be the word at this point that they haven't added this here. It's metal. I've had the hardest time to put this on there, and it's the proper teeth count, so shouldn't be an issue. Anyways, I'm halfway there, and I'm wondering that if I'm going to once I put the screw back on, if the pressure will be able to kind of drill it or screw it back further onto the gear. And again, if you guys remember, I had to Dremel out a fair bit of material here to be able to get the servo to fit into the servo bracket, because there is a tiny ledge here that protrudes out. It's very difficult to see it on camera. It's very difficult to see it with your eyes, but it's there. And yes, I could have Dremeled this out directly on the bracket, but the bracket was already put there, and it would have been easier to take it off. Just mounted back the transmission. And that bracket, actually, there's a piece, that kind of serves as a pass-through for the drive shaft. So I didn't want to take that off because I had just put it back on. So I decided to work on the servo instead, which really was not that big of a deal. Anyways, so I've been looking at servos and trying to see how to, well, if there's no way for me to get one of these, which would be extremely unfortunate, by the way, because there are a lot of vendors out there on AliExpress, even on Banggood, that advertise the HG P408 parts here and there. A ton of them and none of them actually have this. Now, upon further inspection, I looked in the manual. This part does not even feature. The servo horn does, but not the carrier or the adapter, if you will, which really doesn't make any sense. Again, still waiting to hear back from AliExpress vendors and other vendors that I've contacted. I'm kind of hoping that it'll come as a package with the servo horn or some kind of steering assembly. I've been able to do that in the past, but yeah, not the easiest endeavor. Anyways, so upon further inspection, I was looking at this metal servo horn, which is one that I put on the Animo, that comes with the Animo 25 kilogram servo that I usually use. Not this guy, another one. So here it is, and I'm going to put it between the lines, or within the lines here, so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And this guy. So that's the stock servo horn. And as you can see, the distance between the middle hole there and the first hole here, and the only hole there for the stock servo horn is the same, which suggests that the reach, can be made equivalent if I were to use a normal servo horn. Now, of course, this stock servo horn, has that little sandwich thing here. So basically, the panhard runs between the two forks, I guess, and it's screwed in. A screw goes in between and holds it into place. That wouldn't be possible for this. However, I just basically have to, kind of pick and choose, to run the panhard over or under. I could probably, I think I'm going to be running it. Well, I'm going to be, if I use this, this guy instead of that guy. I believe just by looking at it that, let's see, running it on top may be easier, because if you look at, basically this is your axis, if you want, straight like that. That's where the panhard would be, run in the middle. Here's your axis. If I run the panhard right on top, it will be closer to its stock mount, if I can put it this way, if that makes any sense, right? So this is a straight line. The closest thing to a straight line would be to run the panhard here, unless I Dremel out this piece there underneath. So we'll see. But it seems to be possible, and there's a couple ways that I can also adjust the way that the servo is mounted. I could add, a bunch of O-rings, spacers to raise the servo if I needed more space. I can't push it further down, but I can definitely raise it. So that's one way that I can look into that, or that I can potentially solve that. I don't think there's any way for me to push it back down, so it's going to be adjusted going up, assuming I'm not hitting anything in the body, of course, but I don't think it'll be the case. And even then, I can probably trim some of the body if needs be. So anyways, that's where I'm at with the HG P408. So I haven't done much since last video, but I just wanted to let you know that I have been looking into that. I don't know if I'll get to implement it or not, but definitely something that I'm going to keep in mind. I may try it just for peace of mind, because nobody seems to be able to get me that piece that's necessary for me to use this guy, right? I may even be able to MacGyver something where I'm using parts of that on another servo horn and have some kind of a hybrid system. But I think just using one of those would on its own, and adding spacers to raise the servo would probably be the easiest solution. So yeah, we've got this to work on, and we've got that, and it's really interesting. Like so Emma's my niece, for those who don't know, and she came to visit. And she was wondering, basically, Justin, you have a lot of toys. You've got dolls, obviously, like the little figures that we put in our trucks. Like, well, yeah, sure enough, I got those as well, dolls, cars, and we ended up realizing that I have the same toys, just more expensive as a 5 years old. So, which was really cool, actually. It reminds us that RC is a really good way to connect. It's a really good way to to find your inner child, and no matter how complex the rig is, no matter how simple, even though this one is, it's really well done. There's a It's a fantastic vector to be able to share experiences, fun time, learning opportunities, from adults to kids. So again, Jerry, thank you very much. You've made a kid very happy, and I'm going to take care of this guy for you. So thank you. Bye and bye now.